Hello everyone. Good morning to all and all present here. Myself, Miss Kala Devi from first year MBA. I would like to extend a warm welcome to our speaker of today, Mr. Reyaz Ahmed, Digital Marketing Need of CAFS, to share his views and knowledge about today's topic on hyper-personalization. He is an young graduate in MBA Marketing in the year 2019. He completed a project with standard on mortality effects of cognitive dissonance with service quality and consumer attitude. He holds first prize in number of competitions like education system and globalization. He has around 3 years of experience from various companies such as Murugappa Groups and Bajaj Groups as a management trainee. He has certification on negotiation skills and inbound marketing. His area of expertise is categories management, digital marketing, data analysis, and A/B testing. He also holds other skills in field of social media marketing, Canva, Kin Masters, blogging, and competitor analysis. He conducting three political champions in the last election digital, launched three products and seven services. We are grateful for your valuable time that we propose to share with you. Once again, welcome to sir. Now I request Mr. Riyaz Ahmed to take over the session.
Uh, Hi guys, is my voice audible now? Everyone can hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So even I'm really happy to meet you guys over here. I especially thanks Mrs. Monisha and the JPR management and all the dignitaries for letting the people have this kind of exposure towards people who are having the real world exposure. And I would also thank my reporting manager, who's Mr. Gokul Raj Shankar, and my company, which is CAFS, which is motivating me to go do more and more. And they've also motivated me to spend some more time on preparing for this presentation. Without further ado, let's go straight to the presentation. Is my screen visible now? The PPT? Okay, is it visible now? Mm, Visible? Not visible? Anyone? Uh, can anyone say that the slide is visible or not? Mm, Hello? Hello?
So screen is visible, sir.
The slide is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll then proceed.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Guys, basically, hyper personalization is something what every MBA needs to know because in today's trend, every brand is competing with each other to overcome and to take advantage of the competitors' market share. And when you talk about the marketing strategies that is evolving on different places in the world, for take an example, JIT. Just in time is a strategy that originated in Japan, but when it has to come to India, it nearly took 6 years for it to come to India. And basically, I'll start from the first now. Okay. Okay. Okay, guys. First of all, I would like to thank Mrs. Monisha and the JPI Institute of Technology, the management, and all the dignitaries for letting the management people get this kind of an opportunity and exposure towards real world professionals. And I would also like to thank my manager, who's Mr. Gokulraj Shankar, and the company I work with, CAFs, who motivate me every day. And they also motivate me to prepare this presentation to give it to you. So, without further ado, let's get into the presentation. ஏன் இது ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா மியூட் ஆகுது? Yeah, it's now it's audible, right? அப்படியே லைன்ல இருங்க, எனக்கு இது மட்டும் சொல்லுங்க. Now it's audible, no? Okay, I'll just go ahead. Okay. I'm like repeating the same slide for the third time, but it's fine. Now I want to thank Mrs. Monisha and the JP Institute of Technology Management for giving you guys an opportunity to speak with real world people and get exposure of what actually happening in the industry. And secondly, I would also like to thank my manager, who's Gokul Shankar, and the company CAFs. Where these two things motivate me every day to think a lot of things in a different way, like out of the box strategies. A startup exposure is like totally different, and I wish every one of freshers get it. So without further ado, let's get into the presentation. So to start with, just in time was a strategy which originated in Japan, and it took 15 to 20 years for other countries to understand the concept and start to implement in their manufacturing units. The hyper personalization is one such concept which is yet to be understood by a lot of professionals in the marketing industry. And there has been a recent Deloitte study which states that still 80 to 85 to 90% of the corporates are yet to understand about hyper personalization, and they are yet to implement that in their marketing strategy. And that's why you people, the future managers, have to know about it. So this is what we are going to do now. I'm going to give you guys a small introduction about hyper personalization and a small definition, and we're going to talk about four different corporates, big giants, and how they use hyper personalization in their strategy. We're going to understand why it actually matters in the market. We're going to understand how we're going to do it, and we'll have a cool activity at the end, and we'll finish it off with a Q&A session. So I'm Riaz. More than what the person gave a good introduction about me. I love to talk. I've been to a lot of seminars, including MCC and a few other colleges. You can find me at this is my Instagram ID. You can find me with that. You can contact me for any such career doubts or any doubts you have regarding your marketing career or anything in terms of digital marketing. Okay, so let's start. So this particular when I think about hyper personalization, this particular scenario comes in my mind. I used to compare that to my childhood when we were living in Kolatur, and there used to be a supermarket called Shiva Supermarket, and that particular owner knows about every family in that particular locality. And like for example, if you take my family, he knows what my father is doing, he knows what my brother is doing, he knows what my no I am doing, and he knows everything about the family. And every time when me and my dad goes to the shop to buy something, we used to have a talk for at least 10 to 15 minutes. He used to ask about what I'm doing, what I'll be doing in my future, and everything. So that kind of bond we used to have, and just because of that bond, we never, in the past 8 to 10 years, we never chose an other grocery shop to buy any other things that we need. So now we all know that companies, corporates like Amazon, and there are like other companies like Big Basket are trying to capture their market share. And the biggest problem comes when they wanted this kind of a bond, wherein they are not able to set up or send a person to have such good talks with us. So that's where hyper personalization comes in. So any product or service that could understand your emotional needs and could satisfy that is hyper personalization. Anyways, you'll be using the support of technology like artificial intelligence, big data, data analytics will be the technologies that you guys will be using to do this hyper personalization. So, before understanding the concept of hyper personalization, I want you people to understand when an actual transaction becomes a business. For example, if a particular person needs, in school days, if my friend needs a pen and I'm giving to it, giving a pen to him, it becomes a transaction. And if I want to do the same thing as a business, then the flow is totally different. So, a particular group of people have a need, and they go in search of a product, and they find a product, and later on that particular the product satisfies their need. And when the same product happens, or the same transaction goes again and again, that a particular group of people is buying a product, and they are getting paid for it, and the product is satisfying their need. And this particular transaction, when it happens like 10 times, 20 times, 50 times, it becomes a business. So when you talk more about human needs, so this is Maslow's hierarchy theory. It's a theoretical concept which talks about the different needs a particular human could be having. If you take any product, let it be Swiggy or your mobile phone, your dress, your food, anything, car, college, education, anything, it could fit under this pyramid. So it generally talks about the priorities of human needs. It starts from physiological needs, which is like air, water, food. Like no, like if you take Swiggy, it comes under food. If you take Oyo, it comes under shelter. And personal security, employment. This second slab includes all your college education, your brands like Coursera or Udemy comes under this second segment. And third, friendship, intimacy, family, sense of connection. You could say any apps like Tinder or Facebook, could come under this category. And the another interesting concept is that the pricing of the service that you get will increase from the bottom to up. So all the psychology needs like food and shelter will be priceless, and anything that goes beyond that, like Facebook or any product that falls under the category of esteem, like self-respect or self-esteem, recognition, will be priced more. Because this is an interesting concept. I want you guys to note it down and read more about Maslow's hierarchy theory. So I want you people to understand like there is a human need and there's a priority for every human need, and that is how brands categorize needs and frame separate strategy for each and every need that any customer could have. So, what makes the customer come again? As we have previously discussed, the particular concept of recurrence is the spine of any business. So, a great product or service is a must. So, if the particular product or service doesn't have any quality, then there is no need for the product to come into the market or to build a brand. And second important thing is the trust. So, once any customer buys a product or uses your service, you should have that full trust on the brand that even in future I could go back to them for any such problems I face with the product or service. And the third most important thing that that is the backbone of the customer retention is customer delight. So more than the product or service or the trust that you give to your customer, what else could you give? Like in terms of customer delight is actually a something which you could give more to the customer. Like if your personal connection or any strategy under hyper personalization comes under customer delight. And that is what we're going to talk about now. And in upcoming slides, we're going to talk more about how brands are using it, how companies like Netflix are making millions out of it. And the big concept is going to start now. Okay, so this is a theoretical concept of what hyperpersonalization is about. As we have discussed previously, it's creating a custom target experience with the help of data analytics, artificial intelligence, and market automation. The main reason behind why brands are going behind this hyper personalization is because now the market has become very competitive that brands have started to give more and more than what customers actually need. Nowadays customer feel like I would say like they're like way more comfortable compared to some 10-15 years back. Now you can sit on your home and you can buy anything that you want with the help of a mobile phone and an internet connection. And digital marketing, which was a potential medium to for this for to be a marketing strategy, is also becoming competitive now. And as brands, any brand should do something more than the present scenario to acquire customers and to build a brand story that engages and retains customer within their brand. So as I said, we'll be discussing few real world examples of how different brands are doing it. So we are starting with Instagram. This is Instagram feed that any person or whenever I think about hyper personalization, this Instagram feed comes into my mind because I feel that these people have used this particular strategy at least in to the potential of 80 to 90%. This particular screen, it is the explore screen. When you go into Instagram and you click explore, this is the screen that will be getting. And it is not the same for everyone. If you look into the number one title, which I mentioned, which I've highlighted in yellow, that particular slide appears when you are more of a video person and you like to see more and more videos. And second number will be there for a person who likes to see a lot of photos and like a lot of meme kind of content. And it is arranged in such a way that any user feels comfortable and finds the content interesting for him. So there are five different things I could talk about in terms of their hyper personalization. Every Explore tab has a specific algorithm that it follows, and it is actually a point based algorithm. The number of time you spent on this specific content is being stored in their database, and they have a specific customer profile for every individual user of Instagram. They have this separate profile, and they add, every time you view a content, every second you spend with a content, a particular point is added to it. So if you're a person who spends more time in viewing memes, then your custom profile will be categorized under memes section. And for a person who likes to see a lot of movie clips or a lot of action related content, then your profile will be set into this video segment, like wherein the subcategory will be like movies or something like that. And the user experience is optimized in a way that you don't have to waste your time or wait till the content is loaded, because once you open Instagram, the content will be preloaded for you for at least 5 to 6 scrolls. So even you can try it now. So you can just open Instagram, leave it for some 10 seconds, switch off the internet, and you won't even feel like the internet is off for the next 10 to 15 seconds. So that kind of content will be preloaded for you. And as we have discussed before, the categorization has been done excellent, because every content that is being posted by the creators is understood by a separate AI program, and it has been categorized for different uses, so that it could be shown to their Explore tab, and any such engagement could happen in terms of the engagement with a particular content creator on the amount of time that the user spends with Instagram. And they also have a content creator program through which they support different content creators across the globe. They support them in terms of what kind of content they could post, and how they could optimize their profile piece, and many such things. And and the main reason why Instagram is being such a competitive social media platform compared to Facebook and WhatsApp is because of this algorithm that they follow. It's like fully into user experience and giving to the user what they actually need, compared to Facebook, which gives any everything to the user without thinking about whether the user needs it or not. So the second real world example that we're gonna see is about Amazon. We all know Amazon. Anything that we need, we go to Amazon and we search in it. Like before, it started with it started as an ebook online, book kind of community, which was selling books to people. Now it has everything from safety pin to any kind of car or bike accessories that you could fit into your automobile. Okay, if you talk about Instagram, the best thing about if you talk about Amazon, the best thing about Amazon is their in-app interface. In the last 3 months alone, they would have made at least 20 to 25 plus changes in their user experience in their application alone. And that is majorly is that is that they have made that because they want the user to stay within the application. They want the any user that comes into Amazon, they want something, they want the user to purchase something when they leave to Amazon. And the data that they have is your past purchase history and your past search history. For example, if you're buying a shoe now, obviously after a week or maybe after 2 or 3 weeks will be requiring socks or anything something like that. So if you're buying a car and you are buying any kind of lubricant or air freshener for your car, and obviously Amazon understands that you are using a car, and that's why you are purchasing a air freshener. And what else you could buy it? For example, you could buy a sunscreen, or you can buy a seat cover or anything like that. So once you search like air fresheners for a car, and when you use it on the second or third day, it will slowly start to pop up products which are related to your car. And it falls same for everything. If you buy a mobile phone on the second or third day, it will be you'll be shown products of the same phone's cases or any headsets kind of thing. So all these content you are able to see because every action that you take inside Amazon is being stored in a separate database, and they analyze it every day so that they could improve the user experience that they are giving to you. And every advancement that they make in terms of user experience by upselling products or maybe by cross selling, they are making an extra penny. So and another important thing about Amazon is that they also follow something called as proximity history. In school days, we could, when we see our friend buying a new box or buying a new shoe, we used to go back to our house and ask our parents, like, why don't buy me that same box, or why you don't buy me the same shoe. And Amazon was also doing that. To my surprise, when I was like knowing about this, I was really surprised. What actually they do is, like, you're, to be frank, like everything, when you switch on your mobile phone and till you switch it off, everything is being tracked. Your location, the any search that you make in Google, everything is being tracked. And when that type of technology, they could also find out with whom you are living with, who are your parents, who are your friends. They could find out everything. And they could, now the technology has advanced to a level that they could find out who are your close friends and what they are using, and what you'd be feeling that, no, obviously, if my friend is buying a good iPhone, I would also have a feel that why shouldn't I get an iPhone. And Amazon could easily figure that out using this proximity data of people who are near to me. And the Amazon could promote me that product if I'm having a less in cash. Amazon can also give me a loan, or this easy monthly installment, and no, push me to buy that product anyhow. So that this could also be match to Maslow's hierarchy theory of self-esteem. How a particular brand can use that no emotional need to push you people to buy a product or service that helps their brand to gain more and more revenue. And apart from that, there is a separate income slab and how they categorize people. Because if a particular person is earning 10 to 15,000, he won't be able to buy an iPhone or anything that is costing more than 20 or 25,000. And that's how they categorize people, and they promote products specific to special income categories. And as we've discussed before, in Instagram, they have used this categorization. Same way, Amazon is also having a customer category, which categorizes customers based on their behavior and their purchase pattern, so that no, the lakhs and lakhs of products which Amazon owns can be promoted to the special, or a specific customer who actually needs the product, rather than having a manual catalog which has like everything. And even though the user needs it or doesn't needs it, he has to go through it. And thirdly, we're gonna see about Netflix. Okay, so Netflix has an peculiar thing called as psychographics. It actually understands what kind of a person you are. In terms of psychology, you are an introvert, you are an extrovert, you are a person who likes to see a lot of action movies, or you are a person who likes to see movies that is like more romantic, or you are a person who's like more jovial and wants to now see movies like in the comedy category. Everything no, Netflix knows based on your now user history, what kind of series you have been watching, which particular video scene you have been watching in a particular series. For example, if you're watching a movie, any kind of movie, and you are not skipping and you're watching a specific 5 to 10 minutes, that particular data Netflix is knowing, and based on that they could promote or show these kind of titles that you're seeing there in the image, and make sure that you are engaging with the content and you're spending more and more time with Netflix content. So that is about psychographics. It's generally into understanding the psychology of a person and using that to promote content that actually satisfies their emotional needs. And the app experience is also excellent for them, because if you talk about the internet connectivity that we had 10 to 15 years back, we were having this 3G, and we were not able to see that kind of that amount of videos with the internet speed. But now with the help of 4G and 5G is evolving in some other countries, the user experience could be built to a greater extent that user doesn't feel that it is something electronic that he is viewing. Because if you go into the desktop website of Netflix, it doesn't feel like an application, because it will be so lively that a particular trailer will be popping up on the on the first banner section, and there'll be like different categories of movies that you could see. And another thing, interesting thing about Netflix is that they have tried something unique called as personalized movie mapping. I remember this movie called as Bandersnatch, which has actually four endings. doesn't have one ending; it has four endings. And when you are watching the movie, you will be asked a few questions like, what would you like this guy to do, or how what will make you happy, what happens in the movie no could make you happy. Like these kind of questions will be asked, and when you answer it, based on your answers, the movie no map is gonna change. Because if you are a person who wants not the hero to die, you will have a separate ending, and if you want the villain to die, then you will be having a separate ending. Because a particular movie, not everyone is gonna like a movie where the no hero is gonna win. There are few people who could like when the hero and the villain both are like no are like satisfied, like the movie which you saw, like Vikram Veda. There are people who are like that, and no, this particular movie satisfies people who have that specific kind of needs. And push notification is also something that no this application uses. Every time there is a new series come up, or every time there's a new movie that comes up, there is a good content in the notification that pops up, like, why don't you watch this movie, or this movie is watched by everyone, why don't you watch it? So that it doesn't feel like an actual no notification. It feels like my friend is calling me to watch a movie. Like, dude, I'm watching this movie. Why don't you just join me? And all these technological advancements happen because they are following something called as artificial intelligence. Every cursor move that you make, every seconds that you spend on Instagram is being tracked, and it's being analyzed by a program. And that tells the strategist to make changes to the app experience, and make changes to the strategy, so that the customer stays with the brand for a very long time. So the last and a classic example of hyper personalization is Starbucks. So their kind of hyper personalization is very simple. They have a special app for this customer retention. They track every purchase that you make with Starbucks. Any drink that you order, or any coffee, anything that you order, will be that particular data will be mapped with your application, and you will be given special points for that. And based on the points, you can buy some more products within Starbucks, or anything that you need. You can purchase that to a coupon and send it to a friend, or you can use that to repurchase, or you can do a lot of stuff, which is actually which is dependent on their particular loyalty program that they are conducting. And this particular application gives a personalized experience for the user. Like, if my name is given, and it has my date of birth, and it has my now the place where I'm living. Based on that, it could now show me content that, hey Riaz, the temperature is around 20 here, why don't you have a hot coffee at Starbucks, which is near Valley. So this kind of content Starbucks is giving, and it is like a salesperson of Starbucks sitting next to you. A smartphone is more or less a part of you, and just imagine any such brand could stay with you always in terms of push notifications, or in terms of personalized content like this. So before talking about why it actually matters, I want you guys to imagine. So now I think there is 28 degrees in Chennai. So I just want you guys to imagine that when you are leaving to your house, that it is actually drizzling, and I'm going to talk about this Swiggy application. So you go into your house, and there is kind of raining outside, and there is a push notification for you. It's which is like showing in a mobile application saying that it is 24-degree outside. So what would you like to have? And you are clicking that, and you are telling there is this particular Swiggy application opens, and it shows a personalized content that hey Karthik, it is raining outside, why don't you have a tea and a samosa that you've ordered 2 days back? So how are you gonna feel? And it is also giving you a 50% offer on this purchase. So who has gone? If I'm Karthik, I would have definitely ordered a tea and a samosa, and I would have had that, looking at the climate. And at least 8 and 10 people would be doing it if a good offer is given. So this is what hyper personalization could do to a brand. So now we're going to talk about why it actually matters to brands. As I've previously told, that the competition as of now has increased to a greater extent, that brands are being pushed to do something more than what the customer actually needs. And hyper personalization, as we have talked in the first brand, if you remember, for the 8 years we haven't changed the shop. To be more specific, if my mom sends me to buy something, and if I buy something from any other shop, the price would be same, but my mom will ask me to return that, and my mom will ask me to buy from the shop which we are more familiar with. And that makes a make that help the supermarket to capture like n number of customers within 10 to 15 kilometer of radius. And if the same personalization is being practiced by companies like Amazon or Swiggy or Zomato, they could make the customer stay with the brand for a very long time. And every day that a customer spends with the brand is an opportunity for the brand to add another penny to their revenue. And recurring transaction obviously increases revenue. If a particular customer stays for 2 years, the opportunity will be less compared to a customer who's staying with the brand for 7 to 8 years. And once you have acquired the customers, and once the customer starts to stay with your brand will start to dominate the market. And if you talk about like South India, there was a time when Slovakia the wet grinders were like dominating the market like anything. Any new brand which comes into South India couldn't even go near to Slovakia, because it captured the housewives, and it was of such a nice quality, and the design was so comfortable for the housewives, so that no, it was in the brand, and no other competition could come inside their segment for at least 10 to 15 years, as I could remember. And the major opportunity with hyper personalization is that 90% of the brands are still yet to implement this hyper personalization concept with them. So even with the case studies that we have discussed, like Netflix or Amazon, these are, I could say, these are like 80% brands who are doing this hyper personalization to the fullest. There are like remaining 90% of the brands who are yet to understand the full concept of hyper personalization, and they are yet to implement it in their now marketing strategy. So these are few concepts of how different industries could use this concept of hyper personalization. If you talk about finance industry, each person has a different financial need. For example, if a person is earning, and he is yet to receive a salary on 31st, and he's on today maybe 26th, and he wants some 5,000 to 10,000 loan amount, which you could easily pay off on the second day after the salary is being credited. That need is different compared to a business person who needs 10 to 15 lakhs of loan to run his business. So every transaction a particular person makes is now digital, because Google Pay is there, Paytm is there. Your transaction can be easily analyzed by finance industries, and no, you could be given personalized loans or personalized content that actually needed by you. For example, you are saving 5,000 per month, and you really want to invest that in any mutual fund or stock market. Finance industry could promote such kind of content to you, and so that that helps you in the same time, and that helps the finance industry to make another penny to their revenue. So this is how retailers could use hyper personalization. They, as we talked about Starbucks, any supermarket that you can take, anything that is like near to your locality, or any supermarket, if they start to run loyalty programs, I think when I was in my childhood, they used to run loyalty programs that if a purchase is made of more than 5,000 or 6,000, your name will be no entered and no put into a lucky draw, and one person from it will be getting a cooker or something like that. I remember a supermarket was doing it some 20 years back. And now, with the help of technology, all your transactions that you make with the nearby supermarket can be tracked, and all these loyalty programs can be performed with the help of a smartphone. And just imagine, like every purchase that you make in the supermarket is being tracked, and it says that no, if you purchase like 200 more, you'll be eligible for another snacks packet or another lace chips or something like that. Just imagine the amount of engagement that you will be having with the supermarket. So this is the healthcare industry on how they could use hyper personalization. See, for example, like healthcare industry is really a profitable industry, and there's a huge potential hidden in the healthcare industry. For example, if I'm having a headache, more than meeting a doctor, I would go to the nearby medical store and buy Crozin or Dolop or something like that. And every such data is being wasted, and the government is yet to regulate that, because it is actually something related to my personal thing. Because if I'm having some other problem, I don't want some other person to know about it. If I'm sick or I'm having a problem, maybe a personal problem, I don't want someone else to know about it. And the same, falls for this healthcare industry. And just imagine that all your medical related transactions, starting from every small medicine that you get from a nearby medical shop to the no treatment that you get during a fever or any other major instance that you have, let it be accessed for anything. Just imagine that all these data could be saved in your application, and could be what if it could be used to give you a personalized treatment based on your past experience. Because a lot of old age people now, when they go and meet the doctor, one mandatory thing that has been asked to them is, what is your past medical history? And what they have to do is, they have to carry a big no document of all the prescriptions and all the no treatments that has been given to them. Why they have to do it if the technology is there to support them? What if it could give a no good pictorial representation of where all the no person has traveled, what all medicines he has taken, at what time he has got this problem, what was the reason, and what are his allergies, his or her allergies, and how further treatments can be made for the patient to get cured in a better way. So this is how you could frame a strategy of no of any product or service. Like in, I believe in future you'll be working with big brands, or anywhere you go, this hyper personalization can be your strategic advantage, so that you could do something more to the company. And first thing is the customer need. You have to understand what the customer actually needs in terms of his emotion. For example, you are going to give your bike to a service center, and the emotional need that you will be requiring is the trust. You want original parts to be changed in your bike, and you want the service to be completed in the promised time. So the first important thing to start hyper personalizing your product or service, is for you to understand what the customer actually needs. So once you understand the need, you should think about what kind of a technology I could use to give to satisfy this kind of a customer need. For example, this particular example, what we discussed before, the service center scenario, a small application could talk about the progress that the mechanics are going through. Like 30% of my bike service is done, or now the water wash is being made, and the estimated delivery could be in some 2 or 3 hours. I could go and collect my bike. And what if I could also do the payment in the application itself, and I could also make the mechanic to deliver the bike in my to my house. Just imagine the experience, and just imagine what if one particular service center is doing it, and it's pretty sure that you're gonna go to the same service center again, just because of the user experience that they have given to you. So the third one is monetization. So everything or every strategy that you implement, the main purpose of that is to gain another penny, so that it adds to your revenue. So now it is there, you should start to think about how well you could monetize that. In terms of, you could to go ahead with the same example, the application, you could start to cross sell that. No, why don't you change your tires now? It has run some 10,000 kilometers. Now it's the right time for you to change your bike. So if you press S in the application, the mechanic is gonna receive that, and he could automatically change that during the service process itself. And you should have a proper roadmap of how we gonna proceed with this strategy of this hyper personalization, and what will be the future of it. So you are doing it for one service center, so how you gonna do the same, or give the same user experience to different service center for your particular brand. So a proper roadmap is very important for you to track the particular strategy that you're going at. At the same time, you should also have the scope of where this strategy could lead your brand to. So I thought I could connect with you people in voice, as it's kind of problematic now whether I could speak with you or not speak with you. I'll just take a small example and go ahead on how a particular product or service could be implemented, or this strategy of hyper personalization can be implemented for a product or service. So I'm taking an example of any canteen that your college could have. I'm giving a scenario that you are being given an opportunity by the management that you are asked to start a canteen inside your college. And now you know about hyper personalization. You are. I'll just travel with your thought process on how you are. No, you're going to implement this hyper personalization. As the first step is customer needs. Customer, you should understand what the customer actually needs. It's the on time delivery of food. It's easy payment. When a particular student is coming to your shop and he is buying something, it should be easy for him to know what all food is available, and it should be easy for him to make the payment. And it could be easily done with the help of an application. So the customer need here is it's on time response. It's letting the customer know what about the availability and the ease of payment. So use of technology is an application you could use to tell the users what all products are there, what is hot, or what are today's combos, and what all you could buy, and what is today's special menu, something like that. And third is monetization. So once you start to give this application, and it's been like 2 or 3 months, you have given this experience to the students of your college, and you can start to monetize it. Maybe you could add some more content. For example, you could start to write blogs about 10 healthy drinks that you could have from this particular shop. And once they are getting used with it, you can start it as a subscription service, where you can charge like 30 rupees per month or 60 rupees per month. And you should have a proper roadmap of how you're gonna take it further. Whether you'll be confining that particular service inside your college, or you're gonna take it. You're gonna be an entrepreneur and promote that in different colleges and be a businessman. So that's all. My work for today is done. You can ask me any questions, or you can follow me on Instagram, and you can also contact me on this number. This is my professional number. You can contact me from 9:30 to 7:30, where I'll be picking the calls and talking about all the doubts that you have. So now, if you guys have any doubts of in terms of hyper personalization or anything about digital marketing, you can come up and ask me. So I don't sell a digital marketing course, so you can trust my advice that I give about digital marketing or any career related advice. Okay, any questions, guys? You want to ask about digital marketing or hyper personalization or anything regarding marketing or your career? You can ask me.
Vote of thanks. It is such an honor for me to get the opportunity to propose vote of thanks. I understood that hyper personalization is not only a huge digital marketing trend, but the future of business as a customized user experience tailored to the individual. And definitely, sir, we will buy to explore our knowledge in hyper personalization. Thank you, sir, for your eye opening and enlightening speech. On behalf of the students community, I would like to thank our Managing Director, Dr. N. Maria Wilson, our Principal Ma'am, Dr. L. M. Merlin Livingston, our beloved HOD Sir, Dr. P. Madraswamy, and our faculty members to organize this beautiful webinar. Thank you, sirs and ma'ams. Thank you each and everyone who are involved in making this event great success. Thank you.